A young guy named Bobby, who was in the midst of his exams, struggled with his French language skills to the point where he was completely lost. He didn't even try to answer any questions on his test paper while his peers were almost finished. He kept glancing around, hoping someone would hand him a cheat sheet, but no one came to his aid. His teacher then announced that there were 2 more minutes left in the exam, and Bobby realized just how much he didn't know about French. He slammed his head against the car in frustration, but deep down, he had a friend who always supported him, named Dawn. As time went on, Bobby's disappointment seemed to lessen when he spotted a girl named Banny. It seemed like Bobby had feelings for her too, but there was a catch. Banny was already in a relationship with someone else, leaving Bobby with nothing but unrequited love. Following the test, they enjoyed an extended summer break to fully enjoy it. Dawn extended an invitation to Bobby for a party that evening at a place where women were engaging in fun activities. Bobby initially hesitated, feeling it was an inappropriate activity, especially since it was something neither he nor Dawn had ever tried. However, they decided to go along with it. Upon their arrival, they were greeted by a humiliating ordeal for Bobby and Dawn. They managed to escape the situation. This incident left a lasting negative impression on them. Meanwhile, the women involved were Bobby's mother and her maid, who portrayed Bobby as the son of a wealthy man. Bobby's father had been informed by the school about his son's poor performance in French, despite his father's hopes for Bobby to pursue a career in politics, which would require fluency in French. Bobby, however, showed no interest in learning French and preferred to focus on his passion for space and his dream of becoming an astronomer. His father, however, was persistent and arranged for a private French tutor. The following day, while swimming, Bobby encountered Terry, the French teacher his father had hired. Bobby was taken aback to discover that his teacher still appeared youthful. Terry, on the other hand, became more eager to teach after learning from Bobby's father that she would receive a bonus of $10,000 if she could secure Bobby an A. Terry immediately started instructing Bobby, but Bobby appeared uninterested. Instead, he inquired about Terry's romantic life. Terry responded that it was none of his business. That evening, Bobby and Dawn resumed their quest for joy, with Billy suggesting they visit the cashier girl who worked at the diner where Bobby was first to be served, right as they were caught up in the excitement. The girl's boyfriend arrived with his biker gang, but they managed to escape. However, Bobby decided he no longer wanted to spend time with Billy, fearing it would lead to more trouble. In his room, Bobby looked up at the star posters he had hung on the ceiling, dreaming of becoming a renowned astronomer. Feeling down, he walked by the pool and saw Terry swimming. Intrigued, Bobby followed her, hoping to catch a glimpse of something exciting. But that night was not his lucky night. The following day, Terry noticed Bobby sleeping instead of studying, indicating he lacked motivation. They decided to just talk, which brought them even closer. Bobby didn't hesitate to join Terry for her gymnastics practice, hoping to spend more time with her. He watched Terry and hoped to join in on her activities soon. Dawn came to pick Bobby up and began to suspect that Bobby might have developed feelings for his private tutor. One afternoon, Terry presented Bobby with a challenge. If he could achieve an A grade, Terry would treat him to lunch at a fancy restaurant. To Terry's delight, Bobby aced the test, keeping her promise. Terry then extended an invitation for Bobby to join her for lunch, which he accepted. However, Terry's day took an unexpected turn when she ran into her ex-boyfriend Jack, whom she was still upset with. Jack was taken aback to see Terry with another man. He asked Terry to join him for lunch that day, but to their luck, Jack got a call from a client, which inadvertently gave Terry and Bobby an opportunity to break free from their relationship. Jack pursued Bobby and Terry on his motorcycle, but he was unable to catch them. Nonetheless, he managed to jot down their license plate number. Bobby, curious about Terry's swimming, tried to sneak a look, but Terry was already out of the pool, leaving Bobby lost. It turned out Terry was hiding, and upon discovering Bobby following her, she sternly warned him not to do it again. A few days later, Bobby was spotted searching for Terry. Upon asking his mother, she informed him that Terry was out with a man in a car. This news made Bobby feel envious. Shortly after, he heard a car approaching, and to his relief, it was Terry and Jack. Bobby's jealousy intensified upon seeing Terry with her boyfriend, especially when he witnessed Terry kiss Jack. Bobby appeared sad and downcast when he was with Dawn and Billy that night, who had planned to enjoy themselves at a bar. However, their fun was short-lived as they ended up causing a disturbance. Meanwhile, Terry was unable to locate Jack at his house and instead found him in the garage where she overheard Jack and another woman engaging in intimate activities. This discovery themselves trapped. Luckily, Bobby arrived in his car and managed to rescue them. Upon returning home, Bobby noticed Terry appeared upset. Terry confessed she was sorry for reuniting with Jack. This news made Bobby joyful and eager once more, and he even shared his feelings with Terry. However, Terry felt it was inappropriate, particularly given her current mood and the noticeable age difference between them. A few hours later, Bobby spotted Terry swimming again, and he decided to join her. The lively atmosphere led them to share a moment together. A couple of weeks later, Bobby had a birthday party at his place, inviting numerous. Bonnie observed a transformation in Bobby, noticing he seemed more attractive and radiant. She was convinced Bobby was in love, but Bobby chose not to reveal his feelings to Bonnie day by day. Bobby's bond with Terry only deepened until one day, Jack returned searching for Terry, but Bobby informed him she wasn't there. Jack was put off by Bobby's remarks and dared him to a confrontation. Bobby took a moment to leave to fetch something, and to his surprise, he ended up taking a Glock and aimed it at Jack, causing Jack to quickly change his plans and run away. On another occasion, Bobby's parents were away on business, making Bobby even more eager for a day with Terry, who he even convinced his nanny to take a break so they wouldn't be disturbed. One evening, Billy and Don showed up at Bobby's place, but they overheard a noise from downstairs and saw something shocking. Bobby and Terry were in the midst of a passionate moment. Over time, thanks to Terry, Bobby became more skilled in French and was looking forward to his upcoming exam. However, their close bond was exposed when Bobby's father accidentally caught them sharing a kiss outside. Finally, the eagerly anticipated day had come. Terry was on edge, waiting for Bobby's French exam results. When Bobby emerged, he announced he had received an A grade, and they were all over their achievement, planning to celebrate. Bobby had even booked a trip for Terry, but she had to cancel because she had to go visit her parents in France, which she had already reserved a ticket for. Bobby was crestfallen when he returned home. His father called him to discuss something, which he was proud of Bobby for achieving such high grades, leading to a bonus for Terry. However, Bobby felt manipulated by Terry, believing she only wanted money. This led to a heated exchange, with Bobby slapping Terry and storming off. The following day, Terry was ready to leave for the airport. Bobby apologized for his harsh words, admitting he didn't want to lose Terry. She reassured him that she would always remember him, and the film ends on a hopeful note.